In this video, I'm going to explain to you how to set up and activate your Dji FPV drone for a first flight. The first thing you need to do is charge your batteries and make sure you have removed all the plastic protections everywhere on the goggles, on the remote controller, and on your drone. Second thing to do is grab the goggles, screw the antennas to the goggles, and make sure you have adjusted the goggle strap here and the goggles lenses inside the goggles. Then it's time to grab the remote controller and screw the two joysticks to the controller. Before switching on the drone, don't forget to insert your micro SD card to the goggles and to the drone. At this step, I don't think it's useful to mount the Dji propellers to the drone. During the activation, we'll do that later. How do Dji batteries work? As simple as that. If you tap one time, you'll know the level of charging. If you make a double tap on the battery, it will switch on the device. It's the same principle to switch it off. Double tap one more time. Okay, now your batteries are charged. So now what we're going to do is switch on the goggles. And to do that, you grab the goggles. You have a dedicated cable that will be connected to the battery. Double tap on the battery. There you are, your goggles are on. Okay, so now grab your remote controller, just double tap on the power button. Grab a battery, stick it to the drone, then switch it on. Okay, so the three devices are now on. What do we do? Connect the goggles to your smartphone. Pay attention to what I'm going to tell you. You have the goggles, connect the OTG cable to the goggles and not to the smartphone. Then you have the USB to USB-C cable that will be connected to the smartphone. I'm telling you that because several people have done the opposite. They have connected the OTG cable to the smartphone and the USB to USB-C cable to the goggles, and activation failed. On your smartphone, make sure that your smartphone has 4G data activated or that you are connected to the internet. Download the Dji Fly app. And one more thing, I am an Android user, and I've noticed that when I went to browse to the Google Play Store, that Dji Fly app was not there. So I'm going to put a link in the description down below. What you'll need to do is just click on that link. If you have some QR code application on your smartphone, you just need to scan it, and from there you'll be able to download the Dji Fly app on your smartphone. Okay, so there you are. Your drone is being activated. What you need to do is just be patient because it's going to take a lot of time. Run all the updates. Just to warn you, your drone is going to restart several times. Make sure you have your DJI Care Refresh activated if you've chosen it. For me, it was done automatically because it was in the same invoice as my DJI FPV combo. People who did it separately, or I think, are supposed to receive some code somewhere by email or mail. Okay, now we're just going to talk about all the settings that I've applied for my first flight. Everything is going to happen in the goggles. Unfortunately, I have no action cam, so I have not been able to film inside of the goggles. So I'm just going to talk and display the settings on the screen. Transmission, pilot, aspect ratio 16:9, focus mode is on. Settings, safety, max flight altitude is 200 meters, max flight distance 300 meters, return to home altitude 50 meters, obstacle showing is on. Settings, safety, advanced settings. Aircraft signal lost action is set on return to home. Air sense is on. Settings, camera settings. I used to fly drone before. I had a Mavic Pro, so those manual settings are easy for me. Let me explain to you how I've defined them. So the exposition is manual, ISO 100, shutter 1/120, saturation 0, white balance is manual, color temperature is set to 5600 Kelvin degrees. Settings, camera, transmission quality, high quality, Video quality 4K 60 FPS frame per second. Video format MP4. Grid lines off. Center point is off. Settings camera, advanced camera settings. Record with both drone and goggles with my micro SD card. Auto record on takeoff. EIS, this is the electronic image stabilization. Distortion correction on aircraft and goggles. So this way I don't have that fisheye effect. Video recording, I've selected the H.265 codec. And the color profile is the Cine-like.